And joining us virtually this morning is, of course, Ruth Kinyanjui, who is an economist. But let's now drop in Honorable Dr. Babu Owino, who is the Embakasi East Member of Parliament and also a member of the Budget and Appropriations Committee of the National Assembly. Good morning, Dr. Babu. Even as we focus on the County Government Budget Implementation Review Report 2024, it has emerged that for the 174 billion Kenya shillings that counties have received, of course, approved by the Control of Budget, 150 billion went to the recurrent expenditure, with only 24 billion Kenya shillings going to development. In your case in Nairobi, just break down, of course, how much Nairobi used in the current and as well for development and what it means actually.
Thank you, Mr. Chacha. Good morning to my colleagues. Thank you so much. Now, I want to give a focus. My conversation will focus on Nairobi County as a capital city, which collects most and spends most as compared to other counties in the country. Number one, Nairobi has a budget of around 42 billion Kenya shillings. Of the 42 billion Kenya shillings, we have from the equitable share that contributes from the national government contributes around 20 billion Kenya shillings. And then we have our own source revenue that Nairobi government should collect around 19.9 billion Kenya shillings. Then the balance is given by the conditional grants. Now, the on-source revenue is divided into two parts. The ordinary on-source revenue, that is collection from land rates, collection from licenses, collection from approvals, parking fees. And then we also have the facility improvement fund, which comes from facilities such as hospitals to improve them. Now, when you look at Nairobi as a county, we managed in the financial year 2023-2024, Nairobi County government managed to collect only 3.8 billion Kenya shillings of the 19 billion Kenya shillings, which means by the end of the financial year, Nairobi will collect around 7 billion to 8 billion Kenya shillings. Of the 3.8 billion Kenya shillings, we know that money has been pilfered, misappropriated, defrauded. Nairobi County has spent only 400 million Kenya shillings on development. Of the 400 million Kenya shillings, it has only spent on three things. Number one, kitchens in Nairobi, 10 of them have been built at 199 million Kenya shillings. It means that one kitchen has been built at approximately 20 million Kenya shillings. That is a whole school. If the governor was looking at development, we would have built a whole school, for that matter, from the national government. Then, out of that, 200 million Kenya shillings have been spent on roads, which are unidentified roads. Clearly, you've seen the governor posting around only 5 roads. Can you tell me that 200 billion spent on that? Then 34 million Kenya shillings has been spent on the Dandora Stadium. Okay? So we've spent a total of around 461 million in total, approximately, not 400, but 461. Then we go to generally now we ask ourselves, the county government, they've traveled and spent around 590 million Kenya shillings. You want to tell us that the money that we've spent on traveling is more than the money that we've spent on development. It means that if the county government was to take its staff, around 70 of them, let's say the 10 CECs, around 20 chief officers, around 40 directors, so let's say approximately 70 people traveling per month. So 70 people times 200,000 Kenya shillings, assuming that that is what they spent in a month, that is around 70 times 200, that will come to around 140, right? That is 140 times 6 months will come to 84 million Kenya shillings, right? 84 million Kenya shillings, half of the year. Let's say that these people are doubling even this amount. They spend even, let's say, around 400,000 Kenya shillings per month. Now, that will come to around 84 multiplied by 2 again. That is 168 million. So why are we reaching 590 million on traveling expenses? Which means money is being stolen, and the person to take responsibility is the governor. We can't say that we spend 590 million on traveling expenses, and we only spend 461 million on development.
So far, Nairobi County has collected 3.8 billion Kenya shillings in terms of their own source revenue, and a target of 19.9 billion Kenya shillings. This means in their 42 billion budget, there's a likelihood they will experience a shortfall at the end of the financial year, and as a result, either pending bills or immediately the county cuts down on recurrent expenditure to avert pending bills. Dr. Babu, do you feel Nairobi County Assembly is actually in capacity to adequately oversight the Johnson Sakaja-led government? At the same time, NRA, it's already digitized. Why are we not meeting our revenue targets for the city, that is Nairobi?
You know, Chacha, first of all, if I want to talk about what Senator Tabitha talked about, the pending bills. The Controller of Budget did approve money to pay for the pending bills, and she knows very well, Honorable Tabitha knows very well, that this money was diverted by the governor of Nairobi. This money was used to pay air, and it is among the cases being investigated by both DCI and EACC. And that is the reason why the Controller of Budget stopped releasing money for pending bills to the governor of Nairobi, Governor Sakaja, because once he's given this money, he diverts this money to be spent on other things, which is corruption. Clearly, you know very well that the DCI has been investigating the governor of Nairobi. And because of probably his relationship with Ruto, now he's being defended. I want Honorable Tabitha, as a senator of Nairobi, to take her roles of making sure under the doctrine of separation of powers, checks and balances, which was opined by Charles Louis de Bruna Montesquieu in the 17th century. That is a doctrine that came up in the 17th century that should be utilized up to date. So when it comes to Nairobi County government, we have an incompetent governor who he boasts of serious collections. He said that Nairobi is collecting a lot of money, but we were being told that Nairobi collected only 3.8 billion Kenya shillings as per the report of the Controller of Budget. Then when will we reach our target of 19 billion? So two things. Either one, he is very incompetent to collect that and therefore should step aside. Number two, either he is collecting the money that is required and also eating this money, or rather stealing this money. And we are being told the county government of Nairobi, the MCAs, were complaining that they don't even know where their money, where the Nairobi County money is being taken to. Do you want to tell me that in a house where the governor is the father, he doesn't know where the money is going to? He must be knowing, he must be a party to this fraud. And therefore, my only solution is that the county, the MCAs, should move with speed and impeach this incompetent governor, because there's nothing that he's doing at all. Now, let us not blame the pending bills. Pending bills are budgeted for separately. And these pending bills which are budgeted for separately, every item has an allocation. That is why there's development, and the equitable share that has been released so far by the national government is 11 billion Kenya shillings. Conditional grants released so far by the which we get from organizations like FLOCA, that is financially locally led climate action, and then we have this program that was brought up about Linda Mama, and then on-source revenue 3.8 billion, total of 15.8 billion so far that has been released. We can only spend 400 million Kenya shillings on development, which is only 4% of the total budget. Honestly speaking, there is a problem in Nairobi, and when I heard that the governor was saying that he's overwhelmed, it is true, he's overwhelmed. He's now inviting the police officers to come and help him do the job. He is genuinely overwhelmed, and he should stay. He should generally step aside. When I talk about numbers, and you can clearly listen to numbers, not unless you don't understand 1 + 1, which is 2. And according to the Kenya Kwanza government, 1 + 1 can be 200 million. So clearly I've been using numbers to know that I'm talking about facts and not factoids. And there's
that
no
county assemblies have spent
propaganda
more.
about this. That's why I've chosen to the numbers route. As a member of parliament in Nairobi and as a voter in Nairobi, I should ensure that I put check on the county government of Nairobi as a voter of Nairobi, because I also need these services. I'm most accountable as a member of the National Assembly, and you know. And now when you talk about other counties, the amount of money that they spend, I don't support any governor who is not delivering, because the main reason why they got into office is to deliver, is to concentrate with the issues of concern. We need to concentrate with issues of concern in the whole country. There are those governors who are doing well. We saw the former Bay County doing very well, and some counties are doing very well. But on the other hand, there are those governors who are doing very, very poorly.
Well,
So
thank you so much for your time, Dr. Babu Wino is the Embakasi East Member of Parliament.